got Director Dave's dumbass pick.
Anytime touchdowns. We got Josh Allen. Taysom Hill, really? Is he coming back this week?
No, he was back last week.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift. We got Cooper Kupp, David Montgomery, Travis Kelce, plus 94-17. Six-legger. That's a pretty good one. Six-legger, 94-17.
Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We're in week 8 of the football season here.
Week 9.
Week 9. Yeah, week 9. We just came off of week 8. Week 9 of the football season. It's going to. I'm trying to keep myself from not having to go so fucking fast. It's not.
Yeah, well, this is the halfway point right here.
Oh,
baby.
Yeah, tomorrow night's game is going to be the happy Halloween fucking game here, baby. Let's go. This fucking Thursday night football going to kick off for us. But we got a little baseball action. We're in the sports equinox of the football season right now. Shout out to Director Dave keeping us up on the ones and twos. Shout out to True on the Track blessing us on these beats here. I want to make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe, add to the comment section. Anything you can chime in, add any information with us. Any feedback we'd love to hear and receive. We'll answer anything back with you anytime we get a chance. We're going to get this party started here with this week 9 football edition.
Week 9.
But let's go ahead and get into the sports equinox a little bit and talk about this baseball season here.
So we got the World Series going on right now.
Yes,
Dodgers are up 3-1.
Yes, they are. They're 3-1. Big win for the Yankees last night.
Oh, huge win.
So if they actually win tonight, this will be one of the first series. I think that this will be the first series. I think that has gone 3-0 in the World Series. It will actually make it to a game 6.
Make it to a game 6.
Yeah, so it'll make it to a game 6. So this should be interesting.
Well, let's go Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees got Garrett Cole going tonight. I mean, they got Garrett Cole. This is a big money man. Was the highest paid player in the league for a long time. First $300 million player like in the Major League Baseball. So let's see what happens here. I mean, it could be an exciting night.
The Dodgers got Flaherty going. We all know who Flaherty is. He can be as dominant as he was in Game 1, or he could totally throw up a beach ball.
Yes,
tonight.
I mean, it could definitely be a flat tire tonight for sure. Definitely, absolutely. So, I mean, you know what? I like. If I were like a man who bet on baseball, I would actually like Flaherty. I mean, I would actually like the Yankees to win this game here.
I like the Yankees to win.
Their bats are heating up a little bit. Flaherty is one of those pitchers that you can see like they can kind of be primed for action. The one thing that I don't like is because that game was a blowout last night, is that the Dodgers didn't have to waste a lot of their big ace bullpen arms last night. So let's see what happens here. But again, both lineups are stacked. The bats are just waiting to wake up. I like how this World Series is being like regular season baseball, where the guys have been playing night after night after night, getting them in a normal baseball flow. So, I mean, for me, if I was a betting man, I would take the Yankees tonight, just to at least take it to a game 6. At least take it to a game 6.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I do like that. So if you go, the Yankees are -1.5 right now. They're getting plus 136 on the -1.5.
Yeah, I mean, you got Garrett Cole on the mound. I mean, there's no way for them not to be favorites going into this game.
Right.
But let's talk about the fucking craziest shit I've ever seen in sports, with fucking Mookie Betts goes and robs a home run.
That
robs a home run. And he gets a ball pried from his hands.
It was a foul ball.
Yeah, it was a foul ball.
He goes into the stands with his glove, and you've got 2 Yankees fans on the sideline.
Yes,
and one guy grabs his glove and pries it open and rips the ball out.
And then his boy tries to grab his other hand on top of that to make sure he doesn't get to try and hold onto the ball. So, I mean, it was a...
you can't have that.
Yeah, you can't have it. And the Yankees actually were going to allow these guys back into the game, but Major League Baseball told them today, no. These guys are banned from the stadium. You can't allow them back into the stadium again. That was national TV. Baseball is at its highest level. You can't have these guys out here doing this type of shit and say, okay, come on back the next night, because you're encouraging that type of behavior, especially with New York fans. You can't allow it.
If you go back to the Bartman fiasco with the Cubs all those years ago, similar play almost. This one's right field, that one's left field. But, I mean, that guy got death threats and all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah. But these guys might be heroes.
Yeah, no, these guys will be heroes.
These guys will be heroes.
Unfortunately.
If they come back in this series, they might be heroes, because, I mean, they just that whole... How the momentum swung and everything else.
But I could see how MLB is like, no, you can't.
Oh, yeah, that was totally the right decision. I mean, like, the Yankees should have made the decision right off the get-go that you can't let, I don't care how much they pay for their tickets, refund their money. Say, guys, you're out of here. I'm sorry, we can't have it.
You just cannot interact with the product on the field.
Not on that stage. Not, especially on that stage. This is a national stage, and baseball doesn't get very often at all, because, shit, we were watching the NLCS on fucking FS1 at one point. Now we're on Fox now, so this shit's a national broadcast, so we can't allow that shit to happen.
Nope.
But I mean, we'll see. It'll be an interesting series. The Yankees got to win tonight.
Yeah, they got to win tonight. But I do like their chances tonight.
Yes, I do. I mean, I don't necessarily think they're going to come back and win, but I mean, at the end of the day, but I can see it be fitting as they came out with that comeback series like just this year on Netflix when the Yankees came, they blew it against the Red Sox back in 2004, which us as Cardinals fans saw our best Cardinals team ever lose against a team, against the Red Sox.
That just got hot.
It was just a team of destiny. They were just a team of destiny at that point. So. You know what? I mean, that's baseball, baby, and that's just how that shit goes. I mean, you can't even say any given Sunday. It could be any given Tuesday, any given Wednesday, any given whatever the fucking day, any given night. All right. So, all right, so the next up, we got a little Blues action here we're going to dive into.
Okay, last night was ugly. I'll just come out and say it right now. They lost 8-1 to the Ottawa Senators, leaving themselves at 5-5 on the season now. Yeah. The thing is, through 10 games, you're only 1 point out of a playoff spot right now. So it's not like you're languishing behind already.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're at probably where we would say that we expect them to be right now at this point of the season.
They're going to be a 500 team, slightly better.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially with Robert Thomas being out, you can tell they're 1-2 since he's been gone. But the last 2 games without him, you can tell they're missing that number.
You're losing that number one center who wins a lot of faceoffs from you because Shin's good in the circle. But I mean, you got to have that Robert Thomas who's a 65, like 65%.
He's better than Shin's like 50% for his career.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but all we got to do is have him stand pat, be close in the ball game. As far as that.
The other thing is that we're getting injuries right now. Matthew Joseph, he's out for the foreseeable future. Letty should be coming back soon. Not that anybody really misses him. Kapanen got hurt the other night. Plus, on top of Thomas, you've lost some forward depth.
Man.
So, I mean, the goaltending's got to be better. It really just, across the line, goaltending's got to be better.
The defense has got to be better. Defense a little bit better in front of the goaltending. Yes.
The team's just got to be better.
Yeah.
You can't get blown out 8-1 by the Senators.
But it's still early. It is. And once again, I mean, the year we won the Stanley Cup, we had the worst record in hockey going into the freaking All-Star break. So, I mean, it is one of those things. Like hockey is hockey. And,
so after 10 games, though, this is a couple of things you can be proud of or happy about. You've got Holloway and Neighbors, 4 goals apiece through 10 games. Holloway, one of the guys you signed on your offer sheet. Neighbors, your young player who's going to score goals. He's going to be your captain someday. Kyrou leads in assists, 7 assists. Now, he hasn't had a goal in 9 games now. He scored 2 goals in the first game, hasn't had a goal since. So
he might be due.
Kyrou's got to pick it up.
Yeah, he might be due for a run.
So he leads the team in assists and points, 7 and 9. And Broberg is actually your plus-minus leader right now with +5. Nice. So great another pickup. Guy you also offer sheeted.
Yes, great pickup.
The Blues will be fine. They just got to find their way.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, we got a long way to go for that shit. I mean, with 10 games down, they got 72 more to go.
We got 84% of the season to go.
Yes,
so
exactly. Good. So we got a long way to go. So let's dive into this NFL action here, Bobby Knight. Let's go. So we got the Texans at the Jets here to start everything off here. Texans at the Jets. The Texans actually took a rough injury this week. They lost Stephon Diggs for the season.
Nico Collins is still out. Once he gets back, that's going to help that offense out a lot. But right now, the Jets are actually they're favored to win by 1.5. I don't see how. I really don't. After people watching these Jets for the last 3 weeks, how are they favored in any game? How are they going to be favored in any game for the rest of the season? This is not a good team.
Like I told you, they are dead to me from a gambling standpoint as far as actually picking them to win. I will pick them to win as far as my gambling record, but as far as me actually putting my money on it, money on it, no, I've already sold that off. I put that shit on layaway at best. I mean, you know what I mean? I put that shit on layaway at best. All right, so who do you like in this game, man? We got the Texans as one. I got the Jets as 1.5 point favorites.
I do. So give me that 1.5 points for Houston. I like the over 42, and I like Houston to win in New York.
Okay.
The Jets have shown me nothing that even a depleted Houston team that they're going to beat them.
All right, so I actually like the over as well. I had that at 42.5 through FanDuel. But for me, I'm gonna like I said, I wouldn't put my money on it. I wouldn't put my good money on that shit to ride with it. But I'm gonna ride with the Jets actually. Yes, for my own personal gambling record, I'm gonna ride with the Jets actually to get that 1.5 and obviously the win here because they have to. I mean, it's do or die time.
They're already 4 games out of the division,
I mean, everybody in that division's 4 games.
Yeah. But how many games have they lost because of missed field goals?
Oh yeah, Greg Zuerlein has been horrible. Greg the leg has been dead leg.
He's bad.
He has been Greg the dead leg. Is what I mean. He's been Greg the dead leg. I mean, like that shit is not fucking like panned out at all. Because even the game last week, I mean, he left. Like, what was it? He missed a field goal. He missed an extra point. So that was 4 points on the table. And how much did they lose that game by last week?
Wasn't it 4 points?
I think I want to say it was 4 points. I mean, so at least at best they go to overtime.
4 points.
Yeah, so at least at best they go to overtime in that game. So for me, I like the Jets to actually pull this one out. Hopefully Greg Gillespie either pulls this one off, but maybe it doesn't even come down to the kicker because the Texans are actually like, you know, they've got a lot of deficiencies now with I mean, Joe Mixon still is in the mix, and I mean that was a big hit. You see how much the Bengals are missing him right now. That was a big addition.
Yes.
That was a big addition for them. So they might ride heavy. It just depends on how well they're going to be able to stop the run. But again, that them firing their coach, I mean Robert Saleh. That was in my opinion, that was a bad decision. We talked about this last. I mean, it was a bad decision. I mean, the defense has only gotten worse since he's been gone.
Right.
I mean, he's a defensive guru. I mean, that's what they prided themselves on. They were winning with Zach Wilson. They were winning with fucking what's the dude that they had with the Tim Boyle.
Yeah, Tim Boyle.
I mean, they were able to pull games, at least stay close,
Right.
and be competitive. But like the defense hasn't been the same since Salah has been gone. He's actually got picked up as a consultant with the Packers. So I like the Jets to go ahead and go in and get this game and like get on track and see if they got a chance to get a push.
All right. Well, good luck to you, brother. Good luck to you.
But again, none of my good money's going on to it. I do have a parlay for that Thursday night game that I always like to throw out there that I feel pretty good about, but we'll see how that goes from there. All right, next up we got the Patriots at the Titans. Patriots with a big win against those fucking lowly Jets last week.
The lowly Jets. And this got to be stinker game of the week.
And then Titans with that pathetic performance, but absolute pathetic performance.
They kept it close for a second.
Oh yeah, I mean for a quick second.
Yeah,
when you go 52-14, 52-14, you lose. Jared Goff didn't even throw for 100 yards.
Right.
I mean, special teams touchdowns. They ran the ball all over you. I mean, Jared Goff had 2 touchdown passes in the game. Well, actually, no. Actually, one of the touchdown passes was David Montgomery to Sam Laporta. So, I mean, like when it comes to this game, it's a 3.5 point dogs for the Patriots on the road in Tennessee. I can see this game coming down to a field goal. Okay. I like the Patriots actually to cover this game.
You like the Patriots?
Yeah, I like them to cover, but I think the Titans are going to pull out a victory. I think Mason Rudolph some way is going to pull out a victory because we still don't know the status of Drake May if he's coming back because he left the game with a concussion last week. So I don't know where that status is. So I'm going to lean for the Titans to win this game here, and I like the over. I got bumped from 37.5 yesterday to 38.5.
Okay,
that's where I got it.
You like the over?
Yes, I like the over. Yeah. Anytime I go with those low 30 somethings, I always like the over.
Okay, I'm gonna give up the 3.5 for Tennessee, and then I like the under in this one, under 38. I think this is just gonna be a nasty dog shit game.
It could be, but I mean I can see both defenses giving up flubs, special teams touchdown, defensive touchdown somewhere in this world, and you know how I feel about that. I
mean 38's low. 38's really fucking low.
Very low, and you know my rule on that shit. All it takes is one defensive or special teams touchdown.
And that one's blown out the water.
Yep, and then it's blown out the water. All right, so next up we got another fucking piece of shit game. We got the Saints and the Panthers.
Yeah.
And before I go into that, all right, so here's one thing that I see what the book kind of is doing at this stage of the season. So we really hadn't had a lot of big spreads up until like last week.
Yep.
And so like last week, the book was kind of getting their ass handed to them the last couple of weeks. So they threw in these big spreads. You saw what happened with the Ravens and the Browns. Like where the Ravens came in, they got knocked off by the Browns.
Yes, they did.
There was another game. What was the other game? Like somebody got covered. It was a big spread. I know the Chargers covered theirs against the Saints.
Buffalo covered their 11. Or no, Detroit covered their 11.
No, it was the Chiefs against the Raiders.
Okay.
The Chiefs, that was like a 9.5 point spread, I want to say, in that game. It's like the Chiefs and the Raiders.
10, and the Raiders
10.
covered that one.
And the Raiders ended up covering that one. So that's where they're going to start at this stage, trying to get you to kind of go reach out and say, okay, these good teams are going to beat these bad teams. But again, those are book traps. In my opinion, those are book traps as far as going for those games.
I like Carolina to get the 7.5, and not to win the game, but give me that 7.5 in this one. Give me the under 43.5 and Saints win.
We're in total agreement on that one. I had the Panthers at 7. So, but the same thing. I still have them at 43.5 on the over under. But I like the Saints to win this game outright. Yeah, because I think they're going to get a little bit healthier. I mean, as coming into this week, so see what happens. I think Chris Olave, is scheduled to play back this game. I'm not sure, but I like that as far as the Panthers to cover, Saints to get the win, and I like the under as well at 43.5. All right, next up we got the Broncos, surprising Broncos at the Ravens, who've been playing some pretty good football.
The very surprising Broncos.
Yes,
sitting at 5-3 right now?
Yeah, 5-3. And I mean, their defense has been surprisingly better than what I think anybody could have anticipated going into the season. They're 9.5 point dogs on the road against the Ravens. Ravens took a heartbreaker against Jameis Winston in those Browns. Famous Jameis came back slinging that pill, baby.
Eating that W, baby.
And Nick Chubb is back. Nick Chubb is back as far as, and I think they're talking about, I think Tyler Jack Conklin is their tackle is back. So
Okay.
like their offensive line is getting healthier coming back into the season. Jameis Winston threw for over 330 yards last week against the Ravens.
The Ravens.
Yeah, but everybody's throwing against the Ravens really well. But I still see this kind of going in the way that I like the. It was a 9.5 point spread.
I've got 9. I like the Broncos. I'll take that 9.
Yes, me too. Same thing. I like the 9.5. I like the Broncos to cover that. Like I said, I think these spreads here are they're a book trap. Is where they're trying to get you to go. Okay, bad team gets a good team going forward.
Give me that money, baby.
Yes, but I like the Ravens to win this game at home and get a bounce back because they have to keep pace with the Steelers. The Steelers got another win. Russell Wilson looking good, and I like the under in this one at 45.5.
We are in total agreement.
All right, so that's another one there, brother. There's another one. All right, so here we got another big ass spread. Another big ass spread. This is the Raiders at the Bengals. 7.5 point dogs is what I got the Raiders at on the road against the Bengals.
Yeah, I've got 7 points, and this is one I think I'm going to go. I'm going to give up the 7. I'm going to give up the 7. I'm going to go under 46.5, and I like Cincinnati to win this.
Okay, I like Cincinnati to win it.
I think Cincinnati, after the game they had against Philadelphia last week, where they got their doors blown off, they're going to have a bounce back game here.
My problem is with the Bengals is is T. Higgins going to play this week?
That is when he does not play.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well. It does not bode well. And so is T. Higgins going to play? I think the Bengals can win, but I don't feel confident in them coming at 7.5 points without T. Higgins. And they also have been a kind of soft football team. Like when it comes to physicality they can't run the ball.
No, they can't.
And that was when we talked about Zach Moss at the beginning of the season. I told you, I said that was a friendly offense for him with the Colts last year. I was never impressed with him when he played with the Bills. He kind of reminds me of Alexander Madison. It's a very similar back. He's a big back that runs very high, easy to tackle, and he's not elusive.
I'll tell you how big of a disaster he's been for me this year. Austin Eckler is actually outpointing him, and he was the last running back that I drafted.
And not only that, he's not even a featured back in that offense.
No, Chase Brown's taking that over.
Yeah, Chase Brown. But even Austin Eckler, even Brian Robinson Jr.
Oh,
he's
that's
been the main dog in that one. And for him to still outscore him when they gave Zach Moss every chance to get
and
the
you've got
back
the other guy, McLaurin, taking snaps away too. So.
Yes, absolutely. So
Cincinnati's running game's been bad.
But I do like in this game because I don't have any confidence in either one of the defenses. I like the over at 46.5.
You like the over? Okay.
Yes, I like the over at 46.5.
All
right, so next up we got the Chargers at the Browns. The Chargers who keep it's gritty, scrappy team.
They are gritty, scrappy.
They've embodied the identity of their head coach. Justin Herbert is they're becoming very simpatico as far as how they operate together. The Chargers are actually 1.5 point favorites on the road against the Browns.
I've seen that. I'll take that 1.5 points.
You like that?
I think Cleveland pulls this one off. They're going to ride it again.
I was on the fence on this one. This was an either way game. This is one actually from a gambling standpoint. I wouldn't touch the spread on this.
This one's almost a pick 'em.
Yeah, really. I would say it's a pick 'em. I would say it's a pick 'em too as well. But I got a little bit more when I break it down. I go head coach to quarterback. Okay. Head coach versus quarterback. And Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert versus Stefanski and Winston. And so for me, I'm going to go with the Chargers on that one, and the Chargers obviously to win the game. But I like the under at 42.5.
I like the under as well.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be an ugly little kind of grimy game, kind of grind it out.
I think with Chubb being back and with the way Judy's actually stepped up last week a little bit. I know everybody's talking about Tidwell this week, but it was nice to see Judy actually step up.
He's got a quarterback that he knows can get him the ball.
I think Cleveland wins this weekend.
All right. So we'll see how that goes there. That's one of a few disagreements so far. All right. So next up, we got the interdivision rivalry. We got the Dolphins at the Bills. This is another big spread that I don't like at all. 6.5 points for the Dolphins.
I've got 6.
You got 6? Okay. All right, so for me going into this game, I actually like the Dolphins not only to cover this spread, but I actually like them to pull the upset and win. They got a second game back with Tua behind the helm. I can see this offense really start to break out and explode. The one thing, the Bills have been playing with a little bit of house money because of the fact that nobody's been exploiting the fact that they're a nickel defense. They play a small, underhanded, and the Dolphins have the ability to run the ball.
They do.
They have the ability. If they can just stick to the run, set that run up, and then start getting those motion offense, play action passes, Tua's back there to orchestrate all that shit. I really like that as far as like from a overall standpoint of them in the matchup wise, because it's also a division rivalry. They're very familiar with the Bills.
That's why I like the under in this one.
You like the under in this one?
The under.
See, I like the over.
Okay.
I like the over. I like the over at 49.5, only because the Dolphins defense hasn't shown me too much lockdown like abilities.
Right.
I just feel like this could be an offensive breakout for the Dolphins.
Well, that's one we totally disagree on.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah, and the main reason why is because it's still not that cold in Buffalo yet.
No,
so
it's not. It's not.
So
Miami can go up there.
Yes, Miami can go up there and handle some business, I think, in my opinion. All right, so next up we got the Cowboys at the Falcons, and our lowly Cowboys. Our lowly Cowboys had a chance to come back and win that game towards the end, or at least tie it back up and go to overtime. Dak couldn't even get a first down on that first drive when they got the ball back with like 2.5 minutes left to go.
There was a meme I seen on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it now, but it was somebody had superimposed Dak Prescott's voice over him giving a sideline speech, and it goes, "Yeah, boys, do we want to get blown out by a lot tonight, or do we want to lose by a little?" It actually was hilarious. It kind of summed up the season.
It has, but here's where I'm going with this one, man. I'll tell you. So I got the Cowboys at 2.5 point dogs. I got it. Is that what you got them at 2.5?
Yeah.
Okay. 2.5 point dogs. It's just one of those games I can actually see the Cowboys coming out, breaking out, and winning. The only reason why I say that is because the Falcons still aren't a team that's been able to put up a good pass rush. Defensively, they really can't slow anybody down very much. Even last week, you saw against the Buccaneers, I mean, they still had a hard time shutting them down without Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. They really couldn't slow them down. I can see the Cowboys going into Atlanta, getting the victory, covering at 2.5 points, and I like the under at 51.5 because it's a shit ton of points.
Right. I like the under as well, but I like Atlanta to win this.
You like Atlanta to win that one?
Give up the 2.5. I think they beat them by at least a field goal.
All right. I mean, but again, like I said, that's not the fan in me. That's just me looking at how those teams have matched up to this point. I know, like through the years, me watching the Cowboys, that's kind of I've seen how that trend has gone. All right. So next up, we got the Commanders with that miracle victory against the Bears last week. Man. I mean that had to be one of the worst things I ever seen in my life. Tyreek Johnson.
I was embarrassed for the guy.
He should be lucky that he still has a spot on the roster. Honestly, because I mean, like the right owner, right head coach, that dude might be off the team. Honestly, because I mean like you had the fans yelling at him, telling you turn around, motherfucker. He's like his back turned to the offense as the ball was snapped. I mean you know when the ball is snapped in the NFL. You got jumbotrons looking. I mean that's such a lack of awareness. But either way, the Commanders came out with a big win. They seem like a team.
That was a huge win.
Yeah, they seem like one of those team of destiny that kind of is riding along, which might be a fool's trap going into the next season because of some of the wins they pulled off this year. But I mean, I like the Commanders are 3.5 point favorites going into New York. I don't have faith in the Giants really at all. I mean, I've gone through and I've tried to ride with them. I picked them to win against Philly a couple weeks ago.
Did you see that trick play last week they tried to pull? Like, that was awful.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, they're reaching right now. So, I mean, I like the Commanders actually to win this game in New York. To cover the 3.5 points. And I like the over at 43.5.
All right, we're in total agreement on that one.
All right, so we don't even have to spend a whole lot of time on that.
No,
all right.
If the Giants do happen to win, I'd be really surprised.
Yes. All right, so then this next one here is actually a very interesting game. This is the Bears at the Cardinals. The Bears the aforementioned Bears that we just talked about, who blew that game last week, who really should have pulled out a win, still a victory. And I wouldn't even go to that Hail Mary pass. What the fuck were they doing handing to a lineman on the goal line when you got Rashawn Johnson, DeAndre Swift had a miraculous run, and you hand to a lineman on the fucking 2-yard line? What are we doing?
It's the trick play mentality.
Like that. So sometimes here's what's failing in the NFL, in my opinion. Situational football. What made Belichick, what made Parcells, what made Joe Gibbs, what made John Gruden, any of those great head coaches from the NFL and past, like they taught situational football, and that was a very piss poor. Like somebody was trying to be too smart. Right. They were trying to be way too smart right there. You can't hand that off to a lineman who hasn't touched the ball. And fucking,
we're not talking about Refrigerator Perry here.
Yeah, even then, I mean, like that was a blowout in that game when they did that shit back in the Bears. And Mike Dick even says to this day that was one of his biggest travesties that he didn't give that ball to Walter Payton.
Give it to Walter Payton to score.
So again, but with that being said, The Cardinals are playing with fool's gold. I think they've kind of stole some games.
They had a big win last week.
The Cardinals have stole at least 2 games this year. They're 4-4 tied. Like basically, they were essentially in first place outright because they haven't played a division game yet. So I mean, for the Cardinals, I don't know. I like the Bears' defense still. I can see them kind of righting some wrongs here from last week.
Okay.
And I like the Bears to go into Arizona and cover that 1.5 points as road dogs, win the game outright. And I like the under at 44.5.
You like the under? All right.
Yes.
We're going to be in disagreement on this one. I actually like the way Arizona's playing right now. I think they get it done at home. Give me the under 44.5 in this one, and I'll give up the 1 point.
Well, I told you at the beginning of the season, the Cardinals were my sneaky cover. They were going to be my sneaky cover this season, and you see them at 4-4 right now.
4-4. So. I wouldn't have said they were 4-4.
I mean, I wouldn't have said that either. I just thought they would cover a lot of games. Wouldn't have said but they pulled out some victories. I mean, Kyler Murray's been playing some big clutch ball. Marvin Harrison Jr. got involved in the game, had his best game last week. I think he had 11 catches last week.
I keep waiting for Connor to get hurt this year, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen, brother.
Not this year.
He's a dog, man. I mean, he's a fucking
He can
horse.
see Benson breathing down his neck.
Yeah. I mean, and he's a horse. And Trey McBride. I mean, like
that's a steal. They
had no answer for Trey McBride last week. None at all whatsoever. All right, so the next up we got the Jaguars at the Eagles. Who you liking this one, Bobby?
I like the Eagles to get this one done at home. I've got 45.5 on the over-under. I'll take the over in this one. I have a spread at 7.5. I will take the 7.5 for Jacksonville.
All right. So I like the 7.5 for Jacksonville as well. I like the Eagles to win this game, and I also am with the 45.5.
Yep.
We also let's see how the Jaguars offensive line holds up against the Eagles pass rush with them trading Cam Robinson to the Vikings.
Trading Cam Robinson.
They traded Cam Robinson to the Vikings after Christian Darrisaw went out with the season-ending ACL injury. So
Christian Kirk's out.
Yeah, Christian Kirk is out too as well. But I'm with you on this one. I kind of think the Jaguars can cover. Eagles get the win, and I like the over as well at 45.5. All right, so next up we got the Rams at the Seahawks.
See, this one got me last week. I would have picked the Rams if I knew Puka was going to be back. But I had only heard Kupp was going to be back.
And we didn't know he was going to play that fully either. I mean, like they said he might have limited action.
Yeah, he balled 7 for 106.
Thank God I kept him on my IR.
Yeah, I kept him on, not in this league, but on my other league. I still have him.
Yes, all right.
So with that being said, I actually like the Rams to go into Seattle and win this one. Give me the over 48. And to cover the 1.5 points.
Yep, we're in total agreement on that one. Yep, so we got the same lines on that.
I think the Rams are about to come on strong.
Yes, I mean, because their offensive line is actually getting healthy, too, coming back. Kyron Williams has been a stud.
They weathered the storm with the injuries.
Absolutely. I would not be surprised if they're a playoff team going into this season. If they don't win this division outright, it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, because San Francisco, they're beat
up.
They're all over the board right now.
They're definitely beat up. I mean, they had a much needed bye this week, so we'll see what happens. But I'm with you, total agreement across the board on that one. All right, next up we got a big matchup here. Is Jordan Love going to play against the Lions at the Packers?
Right, I'm going right now with my picks. I'm going under the assumption that he is going to play, but he's going to be limited in what he can do, moving out inside and out of the pocket. Right. I like Detroit to win this one. Go over 48.5 and to cover that 3.5 points.
Okay. I like the Packers to actually cover the 3.5.
Okay, you like it?
Yes, I like the Packers to cover the 3.5. I can see maybe going down to a field goal game. Jameson Williams, we don't know how long he's going to be out. I mean, they missed him.
Yeah.
He got a gun charge. He
the
didn't
gun
get charged
on
for.
top of the
on top of the PED failure. Gun charge on top of that. I mean, he actually didn't get a gun charge. Supposedly, the secondary cop that came in was a Lions fan. And who knows what
now there's an internal investigation.
Yeah, there's internal investigation, all that type of stuff. So I think the Packers could actually hang tight in this game. Lose maybe by a field goal late in the game, but the Lions still get out the victory. You had it at 48.5.
I have 48.5.
I had 47.5 through FanDuel, and that was me a couple hours ago that I checked it on. I like the over though too as well. Right. I like the over as well. All right, so the next up we got the Sunday night matchup. We got the Colts and the Vikings.
The Colts starting Joe Flacco this week.
Anthony Richardson, the tap out.
Yeah.
Nobody liked the tap out.
That might have cost him his career.
Yeah.
Not his career, but it cost him this season. I would say
But you know what? At the end of the day, that's probably the best thing that could have happened for him, though, honestly, because, I mean, Joe Flacco should have been a starting quarterback. He didn't. That's a lot of pressure for especially a young quarterback.
That's only had 10 starts.
It's only had 10 starts. So you got a quarterback behind you like Joe Flacco, who everybody knows is the better quarterback. People in the locker room looking at you like, damn, we would really be kicking ass if we we had Joe playing over you. That's a lot of pressure. Let Joe Flacco finish out this season. Let Anthony Richardson get a little bit more season. He's
learn
a young
behind.
kid.
Like,
learn behind him. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Some of our best quarterbacks in the NFL history sat behind somebody else and said that when you go Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, even Lamar Jackson.
Steve Young.
Even Steve Young. I mean, there's so many quarterbacks that have sat behind somebody for a while in order to allow them to blossom and grow and maybe learn what it's like to be a professional. Because even like today, when coming out, he came out and he said, Steichen didn't tell me like why I actually was benched. I mean, like, dude, you got to stop. So shut the fuck up. Lie. Learn to lie. Like the media doesn't have to hear your true feelings. The world doesn't need to hear your true feelings. Sometimes it's okay. There's certain times that you got to tell little white lies.
You know exactly why you were benched.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to tell little white lies. But with that being said, so with Joe Flacco being behind the fucking center this week,
I will take the 5 points for Indianapolis.
I got 5.5, but I will take that as well.
Give me the 5 points. I like the over 46.5 in this one, but Minnesota ultimately win at home.
Nope. See, I'm taking the Colts to win.
You're taking Colts to win.
I'm taking the Colts to win. So we're in total agreement outside. I'm taking the Colts to win this game. I think Joe Flacco's going to fucking sling that peel. I think they're going to go there. The Vikings have kind of been on a little bit of a slide.
I will love it. I need Michael Pittman Jr. to do something.
Hey, I got Josh Downs. Now I know, like, with Flacco back there, I know Josh Downs is a viable option for me in fantasy again. So even though he had 21 points last night with Richardson,
I
last
can
week,
see it happen in Minnesota. It's kind of on
they're on a bit of a slide.
They're on one of their slides.
Well, because
right now.
what happens is as you get more tape, when you have a defense like Brian Flores, I mean, that's like there's holes in his defense. Mm-hmm. There are plays to be had in his defense if you can read it enough. And like when you scout enough, now that we're 9 games into the season, 9 weeks at least into the season, you got a lot more tape there to be able to say, okay, this is going to be open here if you give this luck. This is going to be open if you get this luck. So I like that there. I think the Colts can actually pull this one off here. Okay. All right. So then the last one we got here is we got the Buccaneers and the Chiefs for Monday night.
Buccaneers and Chiefs.
This should have been a nice matchup, man.
If we
had Mike Edmonds and Chris Godwin, this should have been a nice matchup. And the Chiefs have just been doing Chief shit. They picked up the linebacker that rushed in from Uche from the Patriots. You got D-Hop is going to be DeAndre Hopkins going to have his first matchup with the Chiefs here. The Bucs can score though.
I hate the Chiefs.
You know that. I mean, you know our slogan. I mean, you know the slogan. Like, fuck them Chiefs. But either way, you got the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers will show Baker Mayfield is playing ball. This is an 8.5 point spread. It's another one of those big spreads.
I will take that 8.5.
I will take the 8.5 too as well. I will take the 8.5. I think the Chiefs are obviously going to win. In my opinion, it's a home game for them.
Yep.
They're still on the roll, I think, but I like the Buccaneers at least coming at 8.5. The over/under, I got 45.5.
I have 45.5, and I'll take the over in this.
I'm with you right there too, brother. I am with you right there. So we're in agreement on that one. So we had quite a few we agreed on this week.
6.
Wow. Yeah, we had quite a few we agreed on this week.
That's more than we normally agree.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, but you know, our water's starting to reach its level right now. As far as our rate, always during this time of the season, like I think I made like 54%. You're at 56% winning overall record wise. So I like where we're sitting at right now. Because this is where I started to hit my sweet spot where I get up to that 60-something%.
Last year, week 9 through 12 was real. I really picked up my game.
Yeah.
That was my best 3 out of the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good where I'm at right now.
Oh yeah,
I still haven't lost money on the season, so we're good.
I got back. I'm not like all the way there because I took a couple L's. I've been putting a lot of juice on the last couple weeks. But again, George Pickens with that fucking 2 right foot down, not calling a touchdown. Because I don't know. Explain this to me.
2 weeks in a row he's had a touchdown called back.
Yes, exactly. But he had 2 of them in that game because one of them was a penalty. They had one in early in the game and a penalty. Then explain to me how 2 of the same. If your 2 feet need to be down. You get the same foot down twice, but yet 1 butt cheek down is a touchdown. Yeah, 1 elbow down is a touchdown. 1 knee down is a touchdown. But I can put 2 of the same foot down twice, and it's not a touchdown. Riddle me that, NFL. Riddle me that. So hopefully the competition committee gets together at the end of the season. They tell me how that's supposed to count. All right, but either way, that's neither here nor there.
So I've got a little 3 touchdown parlay for you. This one, 3 touchdown, anytime touchdown. Mixon, Njoku, and Xavier Worthy, plus 1106.
No, I like that.
3 guys, that's all you need. 3 guys.
Yeah, I like
plus
that.
1106.
That's a good one. Those are the guys that actually be primed to get in the end zone. Yep. I like that one a lot. I like that a lot. All right, so I got one for you for the Thursday night special. I got my Thursday night special I'm going to throw out here for that smoking token hot parlay. I like Devontae Adams for an anytime touchdown score. Dalton Schultz with Stephon Diggs being out. You got Tank Diggs on it. I like Schultz to score in this game, too, as well, getting in the red zone. Give me Braylon Allen over 20.5 yards rushing and Tyler Conklin over 24.5 yards receiving.
Okay.
I like that. That actually plays out at plus 35.27.
Wow, really?
Plus 35.20 fucking 7. 4-leg parlay.
Wow.
4-leg plus 35.20. I went hunting for that one. That's why
Is
I wore my
Schultz? Is that the one?
Yeah, Schultz. I think
there?
Schultz. Yeah, I think it was a Schultz. That's why I wore my Jaws shirt, Bobby. I went hunting today. I went hunting for blood today.
Nice.
Hunting for blood. So I like that one a lot. I like that one a whole lot. So that's my smoking token pot parlay of the week.
All right, what you got, Dave?
All right, we got Director Dave's dumbass pick.
Anytime touchdowns. We got Josh Allen. Taysom Hill, really? Is he coming back this week?
No, he was back last week.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift. We got Cooper Kupp, David Montgomery, Travis Kelce, plus 94-17. Six-legger. That's a pretty good one. Six-legger, 94-17.
I like it. I like it. You know, that's my type of speed, brother. That is my type of speed. I love that shit. Woo! That is that good shit. All right, so that is week 9 edition here of Bets and Buds.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're going to keep that shit action. Keep happy hunting out there for you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Add to that comment section. Shout out to Director Dave on the 1s and 2s. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Let's kick that music off to get us out of here. Shouts out True on the track. We can see you guys next week. Peace.